Hello everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be talking about strategies for buying coins, and specifically strategies for doing those on Whatnot, and sort of how the platform works from a buyer's perspective. I recently purchased about $116 of coins that we're going to go through quickly to sort of start this video. I thought that I got good deals on them, and I want to share both from like a basic, here's like the actual how to do it, and also some of the things that I think through when navigating the platform as a buyer that I'd recommend that you do. So let's jump into the unboxing, and then we'll get into some of the strategy afterwards. And we'll start with the first package, which is this one right in front of us. Going to take it open and check out the coins I got from this stream. And this one was a stream from Nicely Numismatics, and looks like this could be a bonus 1934 Mercury dime, which is great, but I think the bulk of the coins are going to be in here. I got one graded coin, and I want to be careful with the knife here, but I also don't want to hurt the slab or something, but I got a graded large cent, as well as a mix of other stuff that I thought went pretty cheap, and that is one of the first strategies I'll go over, is that there are a lot of there's lots of different streams going on Whatnot, and often, and I know this from my own streams, a lot of stuff sells cheap and a lot of stuff sells not cheap. But here, I thought that this was a really good buy at $17. I got a VF Detail 1847 Cornet Head large cent. I would pay $17 for this coin all day. I think it has really nice of a look to it. It's got a little bit of environmental damage, but you can hardly tell, and I might even not pick up on it if I was just looking at it really, really briefly. So I thought that was a good buy. I also purchased this sort of typeset. So we have a Roosevelt Mercury, let's see, a seated 1887. That one looks pretty nice, and a 1914 Barber dime. So really good mix there. And then the last one is this mini typeset, and that one almost has some neat look to it. The Indian head cent, even though it's pretty worn. Nice buffalo nickel. And then that looks like a steel cent, 1943D. Could be, is it replated? Maybe. And a 1934 Lincoln cent. But I paid $1 for this. I paid I think $13 for that. Let's see. And $17 for this VF Detail. So pretty good. I'll go on to the next one, which was from Gulf Coast Treasure Hunter. And I'm excited to see what all is inside. I think that that's everything. So I'm going to push this to the side, and we'll get into the, let's see, coins right here. And wow, that is a really cool start. So we had a Waffled Coin, and I've never owned a Waffled Coin. I've heard about them for a long time, plus a little bit of the planchet strip. So this one was some quarter webbing. Basically, they would punch the quarters out of these, and this is that left over. And then this is a waffled blank quarter. Something was wrong with it, so they crimped it, punched it, and you can see what that looks like in front of us. But super cool, some really powerful machines to move metal around like that, and that's a great start. After that, it looks like, and I forget exactly, I had actually bought these a pretty long time ago. Looks like a clip planchet, but an older coin here, a 1909 1 cent clip planchet, and you see a little bit of the Blakesley effect, across the coin. But yeah, minor clip, but it's still an error coin from the first year that they produced the cents with Lincoln on them. So I thought that was a pretty good buy. I also got this repunched mint mark wheat penny that I paid a few bucks for. I want to say I paid like $5 or $6 for this one. 1941S, a repunched mint mark. Let's see if we can see it from here. Often you cannot, and I don't know exactly the diagnostic here. It looks like it may be a little bit underneath to the south and to the east, but a good little find there. This one was one of the Pricer coins that maybe I paid up for. Could have paid a little bit too much, but I still really wanted it for my collection. So, and you can see the doubling really nicely. Doubled dine 1934. It's especially visible in the In God We Trust, all through the S, through the T, through the E. I actually think, when I see it in hand and it's looking very clearly doubled all through the coin, I'm glad. I think I paid maybe around $40 for it. So it was a good buy in my book. Sometimes also, I want to buy more from And let me not have that, or actually everything there is, it has my P.O. box, not my address. Then we have this 1934 double die 002. I don't exactly recognize where it is. Could be some extra thickness in the date and stuff, but great conclusion. And then our last one is going to be coming in from Ward's Wheats, who actually helps out a bunch with the Discord on Treasure Town, and it's going to be 2 pieces of currency. So let me get that open for us, and let's see. Ooh, nice. We got, on this side, let me zoom out a little bit, a $10 bill from 1934, which looks great. And then on this, we got a, thank you, 1945S, nice mint state Lincoln penny. And then maybe the other note is going to be in here also somewhere. Oh, I think that there's 2 notes that I can see in there. Let me see how to get this open. One sec. And there we go. We got 2 $10 bills, one 1934A, and then this one is going to be a plain 1934. So didn't pay too much for these, but thought that they were fun, and you know, all different types of things you can expect to purchase from Whatnot sellers. So some really fun finds, and I'll go over a little more of my strategy in a sort of breakdown after this. And I'll overlay some of the footage for sort of what a Whatnot buying experience looks like sort of as I'm talking here, but I think some of the biggest takeaways that I'd say is look for streams that are either featuring esoteric items where you might have a fair amount of knowledge, or streams that are just simply not as well traveled. So for example, I sell on my channel a fair amount of ancient coins that can be pretty rare, some world stuff, and I've noticed that on some of the higher end material where, you know, coins might just be selling live, they have a $1 starting bid, and you sort of see where they end up, people can walk away with some really good deals. You know, I lose about 20 to 30% of the items that I'm personally selling, and feel like I got good deals on the ones where I bought. So for example, on that 1847 graded penny, I thought that it was worth well above $17, whether it was just for being graded or for the fact that it's in a decent shape, has decent eye appeal, and not too many detracting marks. You know, being able to see the coin with the video on it was definitely helpful, where I could make a snap judgment and think, okay, at a price as low as 17, I'm pretty confident that I'll be walking away with some significant upside there. I think at the same time, though, you want to be avoiding things like trigger happiness. You know, I've noticed, like, in some of the streams I've been in, people, you know, bid, they think, you know, I want to buy a coin for, and this applies to any auction, for $70, and, you know, all of a sudden it's $90. They still want the coin, but it's good to exercise some level of patience, while at the same time recognizing that on some of those rarer items, it could be the case that those types of material won't come around for a long time. So maybe you do have to sort of be bold, step up, and make a buy. Maybe like I did with some of the varieties that I purchased sort of towards the latter half of that video. You know, there's not going to be tons of cherry picker double die quarters selling for, you know, under $40 too often on some of those dates that I got. I think, you know, it sort of is more of a testament to like the Whatnot platform itself, but I've really enjoyed the ability to like comment frequently, interact with the sellers, and then also support like people who I think make cool content, whether that's like great Instagram posts that are super informative, or, you know, other YouTubers that go on there, and even if you're just hanging out in a stream and sort of encouraging or being like a floor price, where you'll bid maybe up to what you think like 50% of the value's item is, but you get it there. You know, there's lots of ways that you can be helpful and interesting, and, you know, I'll go in some streams and not even bid at all, and I always welcome people who are trying to think of like, oh, should I make the Treasure Town stream? I don't have much money to spend tonight. I don't mind if people spend zero. It's just great to have them interacting and, you know, having that sense of community on the app. Another thing that I try to do is like request, if sellers pre-list all of their items, you can either request an item to be auctioned, sort of shuffled to the front of the queue so that the seller can, you know, oh, there's interest in this item, let me sell it now. Or you can put in a pre-bid, so say there's a ton of items and you're interested in like 20 of them, and you just want to set some floors for the auctions as well. You can like put in a price that you'd be more than comfortable paying, and, you know, I would say like 25% of pre-bids get accepted in my auctions, or it depends, you know, if somebody pre-bids on every single one, then those pre-bids are probably going to be low, but there's definitely times where somebody really wants an item, they're not sure if I'm going to auction it right away, so they come in and make a pre-bid and walk away with it, and they don't have to be present for the actual time when it goes live. I think there's also sort of two other things. So the first is I try to be careful when looking and buying on some of the raw coins. Like when I'm selling coins myself, I try to state if I see a obvious cleaning or polishing, or maybe I'll put that into the description or just say it verbally. But I think that that's something you have to be wary of. Like I've seen some sellers that might say, oh, this is uncirculated, when really it's like unk details, or it's been polished. So that applies for like any coins, and thankfully, like as opposed to static pictures on eBay page, like you're able to see the coins rotating around, and you judge for yourself if there's cleaning or not. But obviously, have caution with that if you're bidding on stuff like at the higher end of uncirculated, where you're really paying premium. You're thinking maybe it's going to come back a certain way if it's graded. And then the other thing, I guess, is just to understand that like a lot of the sellers are using Whatnot as a way to sort of have quick liquidity, clear out some of their items, so there will be good deals. I mean, going back to the thing that I had mentioned, where I do lose like on 20 to 30, it depends on the night, but 20 to 30% of items, and there's a fair amount of other ones where I'm just like barely breaking even. Now, I wouldn't be doing the selling on the platform if there wasn't profit to be made. Often, if I can buy things really attractively, then I can get like a decent close to market price on all of the items, and if a few fall through the cracks, they're made up by others. But all to say, I think that buying on Whatnot is a really fun experience. I just did it. I thought that I walked away with a heck of a lot more than $116 in value, and super glad to be able to share some of my thoughts. I hope that this is helpful, and I'll see you in some of my streams. I have like a link that is at the top of this video. You get $15 off your first buy, and I get some credit if you sign up through that and make that buy. So I think that I'd recommend doing it, but it's also just like a fun, innovative platform that I think will help the coin market as a whole going forward. So see ya, and yeah, excited to see you out either one of my streams or just in some of the coming future videos on this channel. Thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to visit our website, treasuretown.com, to stay up to date on everything going on the channel and possibly get some great deals on coins and collectibles. We look forward to seeing you on our future videos, and best wishes until then.